Blaze is a producer and beat maker, and he plays live electronic music. And so let's go ahead and welcome him on the show. Blaze, welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's really good for you to finally be on the podcast. It's been talked about a lot.
I'm thrilled, man. It's definitely can check that one off. I haven't even started yet, but I'm just excited to get to do that. You guys are doing good things. You've added so many amazing musicians and artists to your program already that I'm excited to get to share it with people. That's definitely it comes up daily in my conversations with people a lot.
That's awesome.
The project Bring Me Life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I definitely try to share that with a lot of people.
That's really cool. We really appreciate that. And
yeah, absolutely.
Very honored to have you on the show.
I'm really glad that you're on the show. I was excited. You seemed really excited about the project in general at Frequinox, which I actually got to see you play at. So I'm glad that we got it arranged and you were here.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was technically my first set as Ascentient. I had been doing other stuff, just bits and pieces of what I do for Ascentient now. As Yendrock, the dragon, just kind of as a joke, because I wouldn't accept a name until I just had found the one that was supposed to be my name. And during that time, it was perfect because I was able to explore all these different avenues of live electronic music. Just kind of messing around, and then being honored enough to get to play with Ashton throughout the summer, and so that allowed me to experiment on my own stuff and still kind of, keep my head up, playing with him and doing things like that. And it just lit a fire under me to want to continue doing this. Yeah, I'm excited to get to continue this on. I've been actually writing a lot, and my last show was at a Halloween festival with Dixon's Violin and Pleasant Drive and a couple other people, and we played Saturday night, and we had a really good turnout. It was really cold, so they moved everybody into a big barn area, and it was super warm inside, so everybody just stayed inside the whole time, and I debuted any of my first rapping ever. So, it was pretty great, considering I grew up on Tool and it was Tool and the Grateful Dead. I grew up on that, and then it's moved on to where I can't not listen to hip hop beats now. I don't know what happened. It just changes.
For sure. We all go through crazy phases.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about Ascentient and where that came from, the name.
I was determined to just kind of wait it out. At one point, I was producing under Subscribe, scribing through the subwoofers, etching. But it's clever, but it didn't work because there's no way to really write it without just looking subscribe to this, And that was not what I was trying to do, was just blow people up and be a troll, a musical troll, as the name Subscribe. So I dropped all that, and that's when I went to use my name backwards, which is Yendrock. Knowing, kind of just waiting patiently, waiting for something that struck me, and everything I liked was taken. And then I realized that conscious hip hop has kind of led me to the place I'm at right now in my life. Because I was learning hip hop beats for the last 3 years, I kind of stopped playing guitar for a while, obsessed over doing live hip hop drumming. Then eventually, once I had become obsessed with hip hop beats, I had moved into listening to conscious rap and people speaking of consciousness in rap and actually trying to further that. And there's so many spectrums of it. There's deep end conscious rap, which people who aren't even aware of anything at all, it would be way too much for them, And then there's really low end conscious rap that is meant for lower vibrational people to help wade them in the water, And getting to experience all the different levels of conscious rap that exists over the last couple of years kind of inspired me to. I think that's where the sentient came from when I finally kind of made the connection of the word Ascentient. Ascension and moving past things and changing has always been a big key aspect of my life. Every every time Saturn makes a full cycle around my body, something immense and crazy happens.
Shannon wonders if you do rap.
Do you rap?
I just recently started rapping. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Who actually who is actually inspiring you? Like what inspires you to do your music?
Man, well, recently it's been super galactic expansive. It's really intense EDM, like all different genres kind of put together with this guy named Amin, who he's magical. He does like a lot of double time rapping, but it's all heavily, it's like a Bible's worth of information in like per track. Like I've been writing for 3 months, and I can only fill like half of one of his tracks with all the information he's putting into it. But like I said, that's like really deep end conscious space, or not conscious rap, and so it's like not really for most people. And he's rapping so fast that you have to really want to like get into like listen. But then also on the other spectrum, the lower vibrational conscious rap that's really out there to like help bring people in, help them wade into the water. The underachievers, who are from Flatbush, Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
who are a side project of, it's the whole Beast Coast movement, Pro Era, the Flatbush Zombies, a lot of those people. That's, like I said, it's conscious rap, but it's a lot lower vibrationally because they are trying to get it through like the inner cities of America and help wake people up in like the areas where it's needed deeply,
Awesome.
And so it's been happening. I don't know. It's pretty intense. So I think that's where Ascentient has come from, because it's just drumming led me to hip hop, led me to conscious rap, and now my sets are filled with either like underground conscious rap that I mash into my live music, or me doing it myself. So yeah, I think that's kind of how it all kind of came about.
I was gonna keep him fun.
Oh, cool. I wanted, if I could, to steer you towards what type of music that you have been playing lately. I know at Imminent Disclosure you played some beats with Spaceship Earth, and
Yeah.
So is that like the most, or what you're playing right now, or?
No, I'm doing. I didn't have my synth guitar running then. I played a half an hour set of my own, and then we went into the Spaceship Earth set, and I was just doing live drumming over like some of my favorite conscious bass music, and like 2 of my own tracks at that point. I just wanted to bring good vibes and bring a live aspect to DJing, which is so sorely neglected a lot. Well, not people are getting better at it, but like in mass, there's not a lot of people doing a lot of live stuff over DJs or DJing. But yeah, now I'm using a lot of my own tracks or my own remixes or mashups that I do live on the spot. And I'm using my hand sonic for live beats, and I have my loop station running everything through a Boss loop station, so I can keep loops running separate from my mix. I'm not running Ableton right now. I'm in the process of redoing all that because my computer went to crap. It just made it more challenging though, and kind of just as fun. I played on a really loud PA system without Ableton, and it worked amazingly well. I can't believe it. But yeah, I have a synth guitar now. I don't have it in here because it's just too obnoxious. But it's a Roland pickup that's designed to do all synthesizer frequencies through your guitar, and you can program anything you want into it. So during my sets now, I'm playing live sitar, but I'm just doing it on my guitar. I do tap style guitar, and I actually am doing drum beats with my guitar, and then I'll loop the drum beat, and so I'll start the whole song with my guitar, but it'll be all drums, like tablas on the guitar, and that's all stuff that I didn't get to bring this summer because I had a pickup, but it was broken, and it only played like 4 of the 6 strings, and so I just recently got the new synth pickup, and so now it's fully rolling. I'm excited. At Nonsense Night last Thursday, I got to do. It was I mean, obviously it's Nonsense Night, so it was a ridiculous theme. It was like Tom Waits and Disney was like it was crazy. And Zach was like asking me to come up with.
I just wanted to see, because I don't think a lot of people watching the podcast know what Nonsense Night is.
Oh, yeah. Zach and What Army? Nonsense Man holds Nonsense Night at least 2 Thursdays a month. I think he's trying to get it weekly now. At the Tangent Gallery in Detroit on. I can't tell you the street. I apologize. But yeah, it's the Tangent Gallery in Detroit, and it's an amazing venue, amazing people running it. They had Gates of Ra last year, but it's a free event on Thursdays that you can find by looking up Zach and What Army.
Sweet, thank you. Also, I know I said at the very end of the questions, but I feel like a lot of people, well, especially myself, would you be able to play some of the music right now if you were comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely. One second. Okay. Sorry, I have got all kids also in the other room. All right. Let's see here. Do you want me to do a poem or like a rap over it? If you can hear it.
Whatever you feel like doing, I feel like we will enjoy it.
All right. We'll see what happens. Let's do it. Just a form of spirit, conscious of spirit, the papers of exploring, the voyage of a farm, the scrutiny we scatter outside of the setting pattern with the fact that we try to attack with legal matters, with returning to the source, this southern ride transforms, current shifting.
Always not an option when the evening will lie. Set the edge fine, the tallest tree of life. Creeks and cracks through age and lack. The ancient packs, the sage and axe. With mystic maps, the forest gas. Swaying and singing the truth inside of me reads. And that's what's manifesting all the letters you're receiving. A beautiful song of death and awe. Hey you, it's time for your spirit walk. I don't know if you can hear all the vocals, but I will do that again without if needed.
Could you hear any of that?
Could sort of hear your voice a little bit.
All right, I can do that without it because I really would like that. Could you hear the music okay though?
Yeah, the music sounded good. Somebody in the chat said it sounded good. Barbara said, "This is sweet, Cord."
Yeah, my microphone is horrible, so I didn't know if you'd be able to hear it over all that. All right, well, I'll just do it a cappella because I'm excited to get to share it with people.
Okay.
My smoke detector's going off, but that's because I'm cooking, or my girlfriend's cooking.
That's
so funny. It's like the most. Oh, it's so funny. That smoke detector goes off all the time. Oh, all right.
It's not our fault. It's your fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault, I swear. All right, so yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do that verse again because it's super fun.
Real quick,
Yeah.
where can people find your music when you're not on the podcast?
SoundCloud.com/Ascentient Music, and that is really it right now. There's videos on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Ascentient. I got lucky and it wasn't taken.
Awesome. I just wanted to give the viewers a chance to catch that. We do have your SoundCloud up in the live room right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can listen to that after the podcast. So I just wanted to.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of producing a lot of stuff, so I'm excited. A lot of what I have is just kind of these improv sets that I've been doing. I'm excited to. I mean, it's cool that I've been getting to do it, but I'm excited to get to unveil all the new stuff in the coming months. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Do you care if I do that last verse?
Go for it.
Go.
All right. Let's see. Okay. This is a forum for spirit where conscious starts appearing, a tool for self-exploring, a whole yet still component. Under scrutiny, we scatter like Saturn's descending pattern, but the fact that we come back souls intact must be what matters. Winds returning to the source, this feather ride transforms, current shifting, curtain clipping, headlong tripping through the blipsy spatially, relationships evolve and redefine, moving further from the inside out. The left brain keeps the time, and the right brain brings the rhymes. Off is not an option with the pineal aligned, sentience refined, the tallest tree of mine, creaks and cracks through age and lack, the ancient packs, the sage and knacks, with mystic maps, the forest gasps, swaying and singing, the trees inside of me breathing, an essence manifesting all the letters you're receiving, a beautiful song of death and awe. Hey you, it's time for a spirit walk.
Wait a second. Darn it. I thought I had a good effect for that.
Oh, that was actually, that's not the one that I meant to do, and it's so funny. That's just, I realized like halfway through it I was doing the wrong one, but I'm excited. That's fine. It was supposed to be that one. So.
You want to do the one that you wanted to do, too? You want to do both?
Yeah.
Shine, do it.
All right. Awesome. That last one was actually a poem that my buddy, my best friend Remedy Music, he writes poetry, but he doesn't do a lot of rhyming. And so I took one of his poems with his permission and added onto it and added all the rhyming scheme to it. So then it's like one of my favorite things that me and him have collaborated on for sure. All right. So this is the newest thing I'm doing. Beneath the cracks through panes of glass grows endless rows like fractal maps. I can't. It's lost to me. I'm kind of silly in the head. Well, it's been a while. All right, here we go. I got this written. All right. We're shifting sideways, except this receptive lightways progressive with crimson highways erected by ancient Mayans who left this encoded science recessive. The sentience I am expressing will feed the world through intention. Words like divine inventions. Flying machines never mentioned. Rewired beings higher with higher means acquiring the fire seeds to plant and grow entirely to witness Earth's ascension. That was today. Sorry. Really fast, but I kind of messed it up. I'm excited to get to share that with everybody, though.
There we go. We have a real audience.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to do it. I know I messed it up.
It's all good. It was wonderful, and somebody said it
Is
was
there
nice.
feedback coming from my amp?
What's that?
Is there feedback coming from my amp?
I
No?
can't hear you.
You're fuzzy.
I hear it, but I didn't know if you could hear it. That's why I was wondering. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Do you have an album that you're planning on releasing?
Yes, I don't have a name. I think it maybe end up being called the Lantern's Yaw, but I don't know. That's the closest I've come to deciding. The name comes from
Do you say the Lantern Yaw?
yeah, the Lantern's Yaw. A yaw is when something sways. It's like the rhythm in which something sways back and forth.
How do you spell that?
Y-A-W.
Y, almost kind of like Yahweh.
In a way, yeah, like yawn without the N, just Y-A-W. Yeah, but I needed a word to describe it because I knew the feeling I was and like what I was thinking of as a kid, and so I had to end up looking forever. But it's because it means the song would be called the Ly, and my son's name is Lyric, and we always call him Ly. And he's a little light bear, and so I ended up looking for something that related to Ly, and it ended up being Lantern's Yaw. And so that may be what it starts with is the Lantern's Yaw, but I don't know exactly. That may just end up being a song also. That's about all I got though. Yeah. I'm excited to get it all together though. This winter is going to be intense.
Do you have a release date planned yet, or is that still?
It's still kind of up in the air. Hopefully by springtime though. That's my goal is springtime.
Beautiful.
I'll probably do. I may just do a short, like a half album, and then do a full one at the end of next summer. I'm not exactly positive yet though. I'm very excited to get to start though. It's been a long time coming. I've had this hand sonic for a long time, and I'm so excited to like fully use it for its purpose because I'm just doing it for live stuff right now. So like all my production stuff was made without it because I didn't have any way to hook a lot of my synthesizer stuff up at the time, and so it was just it's all my production, but I just didn't get to do it with my instruments. So the thought of getting to do all my own production with all my own live instruments is going to be, yeah. It's literally like when I get back, I'm going this weekend to do a big Thanksgiving thing with tons of extended
Thanksgiving.
family. Yeah, but it's gonna be Thanksgiving.
Dang, I get it.
Yeah.
Thank.
But it's tons of family from all over, and it's gonna be good times. I'm excited, so we'll be heading up there.
Yeah, for sure. Man, and you're in Detroit, Michigan right now. Yeah.
No, I am closer to Ann Arbor. Like I claim Ann Arbor, but I'm out in the country.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not
out there.
What's up?
Well, I said, what is it? How do you enjoy being out there in the country?
Oh, it's amazing, man. It's awesome. It's not. I would rather be up north in Michigan because it's like the most gorgeous area, but it can't really beat it. I mean, it's a good mix of good old boys and like actually like progressive thinking people and libertarian people and tons of different, there's a good mix of different people. A lot of people say Ann Arbor is fully like kind of snobbery and it's just, but I don't know. I enjoy the hell out of Ann Arbor. It's really fun.
Yeah. Sure.
It's getting better too now that Metamorphosis and all these places are happening. There's that whole thing, like the whole consciousness based ideology is kind of making its way into the music scene there slowly, and it's amazing to get to see that happening.
Metamorphosis was the first time I ever did a workshop there, and it was a channeling workshop. And Metamorphosis, every time I hear somebody talk about it, say it just like was the best thing, and just completely changed them. And so shout out to Mulberry Hill Farms for Metamorphosis.
Yeah, absolutely. That was That was awesome. That's what started like inspired. I was doing bluegrass trap music. I was doing like live trap beat stuff, all trappy stuff over bluegrass music, and it was super awesome. I could actually do that at some point if we wanted to do. If you wanted to hear a bluegrass remix, I actually forgot I have it saved on here, so I could do it live. But it's not like normal bluegrass. It's like Madashahu acoustic and some other stuff. But it's really fun. That was amazing getting to do that at Metamorphosis, though. Doing Elephant Revival and stuff with like dance beats over the top, and it was getting to see everybody. That was the first time I'd ever heard of contact improv, and I got to witness like tons of people all doing contact improv during my set, and it was interesting.
Yeah, contact improv is very interesting. If you're a very shy person, it's hard to get into because you're just kind of like laying on people and like.
That's what it seems like. Definitely. Yeah. I didn't really know what was going on at first because I didn't go to the class, but I saw the listing, and then I would play my show, and I looked out in the crowd, and there was people like rolling over the top of each other, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then I just kind of put two and two together, and I was like, "All right, that must be contact improv." And I enjoy it. It's really cool, though. It's definitely not for shy people, though.
Not at all.
Not at all. I did it at 3DL, and did I do it at Frequentox?
Yeah, in the healing tent.
Oh, man, yeah, that was pretty interesting. This lady did what she would call like contact improv healing, or it was dance healing or something.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. That was weird.
It was interesting, for sure.
Yeah, they get intense with it, man. It's cool to see that that's getting pushed that far and so far out past like the West Coast, and like how it's makes me happy.
Makes me happy.
Makes me happy to see all those crazy things getting pushed so hard. Like, people need things to break themselves from all these silly daily routines that everybody's being forced to go through. Like, not that they were forced to go through. You can go, I guess, try to do without it, but I don't know. That's just all those contact improv and all those different things are such a really good means of. I also juggle, of like breakthrough, and juggling is one of those other ways that helps a lot.
Juggle. So, would you say there was ever a time in your journey on this earth that had you feeling kind of like a zombie, like you're stuck in the Matrix, or did you have a breaking out of that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it's pretty crazy. I feel like my experience hasn't been like what I would have. I mean, no one's is what they expected, but I was very receptive, really young. At one point, I think I was like 5 or 6, and I was like, my mom found me on the trampoline, like crying because I didn't understand why humans were on this planet, and then I actually was able to empath my sister into feeling the emotions that I was feeling. I was like 6, she was like 8, and we were sitting on the trampoline together, and she's looking at me like, "What are you crying for? Like, why are you?" And I felt like everything coming from the planet at once, and I couldn't figure out why humans were here, and it was just like this big, overwhelming weight of sadness. And my sister didn't get it, and I explained. I kind of passed empathetically or whatever onto her, and from that experience when I was like 6 or 7 on a trampoline, that kind of sparked this idea in me that there was some type of magical thing that causes because it was just such a weird feeling. I couldn't explain it, and so I kind of had this kind of feeling in the back of my head that I believed in like magic and stuff, but I didn't know why. Just one second, buddy. And yeah, it was definitely. That was like kind of a start of an eye-opening experience for me. It led to, well, I mean, I kind of went through my not even really teenage years. I feel like I experienced being a butthead teenager like really early because I wasn't even a teenager, but when I went through all the mentality of what like I considered teenagers go through, I was like younger than that because was allowed to be kind of crazy. But it made me age. It made me kind of like learn quicker. So when I finally found out about sacred geometry and consciousness and things like that, I was seeking such a alternate route, kind of like the Matrix, like you were saying. I felt so zombified. Just even in like 7th grade, I couldn't figure out why I felt so zombified. At one point, I was sad because I couldn't see beyond my eyeballs, and that was just like dumb, irrational things. It didn't make sense to me at the time, and I was like, I can't see, because in my dreams I can see like all around. I can see everywhere at once in my dreams. But when I would come back to my body in like 7th grade, I'd come back to my body and wake up, and I'd be so sad because I couldn't see anywhere except for out my eyeballs. It sounds crazy, but that was like what I was going through, like this depression in 7th grade because I felt like I was stuck behind my eyes, and I didn't understand why. Because I knew that there was something beyond like what I could see beyond my eyeballs, and it just was super annoying, and I didn't get it. And so I ended up I was very dualistic at that point. I wanted to believe in things, but I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, so I was just being a rambunctious little kid. And so eventually it led me, like my mom sending me away to Oklahoma, which was perfect. It was the best decision ever, but it all started with me freaking out and not wanting to go, and meeting my friend who was like, dude, everything happens for a reason, and he was in this like super serene state that I wouldn't have expected him to be in, and it passed on to me, and he was like, you should just go with the flow, man, and just, everything happens for a reason. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that in my life somehow. And so yeah, that's kind of where it started. So I went to Oklahoma when I was like 12 or 13, and that's when someone showed me the book, The Flower of Life. And so I was 13 and had been shown The Flower of Life and taken to a festival and like was taught about third eyes and different things, and it was so much information for a 13-year-old to like comprehend. But at that point, I felt way older than being 13. I felt like I was way older, and so getting all this information was like, oh, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. I pushed myself to be older than I already am, so of course now I'm getting all this information. So through that process, by the time I was like 16 and had learned a lot about the Flower of Life and different things, and it wasn't really in festival culture that much, then I started kind of going through breakthrough experiences and seeing how all this stuff that I kind of just blindly accepted because I felt it in my soul. And I was a teenager, I was young anyway, and I just kind of felt it, and I knew it was there. And so eventually I started having these experiences, traveling, and it led me to coming back and like teaching a lot of my friends. And this was all down south in Oklahoma City, is where I went to high school. And I ended up helping manifest this circle of friends that were all like-minded light worker people who we have all gone on to like travel the world, and we're all painters and musicians and different people. Like some of them are in Humboldt now, and some of them are in like Canada, and they traveled all over the world. But it was just because of someone who started to tell me about the Flower of Life forever ago when I was super young. But because of that, I was so young. I learned everything so young that I feel like to like answer your question, I feel like I have had an awakening, and then a lull, and then like another reawakening is happening because like I'm 26 now. And so I went through this big awakening very young, helped a lot of my friends wake up, and we helped each other wake up. Can't say I can take credit for any of that, obviously, but now that I had children and then I had another child, I've went through this different cycle of just mentally a different cycle than I've ever expected. And so now I feel, because of what's happening now musically and everything, I'm going through a new full reawakening process, and I think this album is going to be a direct manifestation of like this new second awakening that's occurring in me.
Yeah, that's really
I was
beautiful.
kind of long-winded, but
That's okay. It's all good.